Murat Gassiev versus Yunier Dorticos. In this video, I will discuss the key factors of this fight along with my own prediction. But before that, I want to ask you to do the same and make your prediction down in the comments section below. Are you picking Gassiev? Are you predicting Dorticos? Let me know, and let me know how you see this fight going. So we've got Murat Gassiev versus Yunier Dorticos. This is taking place in Russia, and it's another unification of sorts. We've got the IBF champion. We've got a version of the WBA cruiserweight champion. We've got two heavy hitters who come to fight, and this is the second semi-final of the World Boxing Super Series up at the cruiserweight division. And we know that the cruiserweight division has not always had its share of fans. You know, it's not the money division. People either like the lighter weights that are perceived to be more exciting, or they like the big boys up at heavyweight. And this is a kind of division that sits in the middle. So the World Boxing Super Series has been phenomenal for that. And we've seen some young, fresh blood, come together to create some great fights here. And this, I believe, is going to be no different. This is going to be a great fight, people. Last week, we saw the first semi-final, which was brilliant. Usyk, Breedis, no one can say that it wasn't a great fight. It had a little bit of everything. Usyk was victorious. He moves forward to the final to take on one of these guys here, okay, to unify all of the belts. And I believe that this can be just as good as the fight that we saw last week. We've got an undefeated IBF champion in Gassiev. He's a young fighter. He's only 24 years of age, believe it or not. And he's been a pro since he was 17, so, going to have limited amateur experience, but he's progressed through the pro ranks, and he's learned on the job. But he announced himself on the scene just a couple of years ago in an absolute war against Lebedev. That was a phenomenal fight, and he proved to the world, that he is an elite fighter with a high range of skills. And, he pushes the action. He's got great fundamentals. He's happy to box, but he's also happy to go to war. He's capable of hurting you with big shots upstairs or devastating body shots. And we've seen that time and time again. But on the other side, he's going to be facing a guy in Dorticos who is a WBA champion. He's also undefeated. Now, here's a question for you guys. Is this WBA championship on the line? WBA have him down as an interim champion. The World Boxing Super Series are promoting this as a unification with the belt on the line. I just checked on BoxRec. They don't have the title listed as this fight. They just have Gassiev. So let me know, is both titles on the line? Are we going to see a true unification in the final, okay, of all of the belts, okay? But either way, as I say, Dorticos, he's an undefeated champion. And one thing about him is he throws every punch with reckless abandon, looking to hurt his opponent, full power, almost every single punch. And he has some devastating KOs. Okay, we saw that in the last round. It was one of those punches that just sent shivers down your spine. It knocked down his opponent, and it was almost a delayed reaction until he realized that he was knocked out. I mean, yeah, great stoppage. But Dorticos is somewhat untested and unproven professionally. Now, he has a more significant amateur background, a number of years fighting on the amateur scene, and that shows, okay. But in the pro ranks, as I say, somewhat untested, somewhat unproven. He's only got 61 rounds as a professional, and 50% of his win, 50% have been first round stoppages. Okay, so we've only seen him hit the 6th round 3 times. Okay, but the question here, is he the underdog, and has he been the underdog from the start, and can he win the whole damn thing? That's what I'm saying. But Gassiev, he is the favourite here. The odds do favour Gassiev to win. They favour a stoppage victory for Gassiev, and they favour a stoppage in the early to middle rounds. We're talking about 3 to 5. They are what the odds favour. Okay, but there are 3 keys to this fight, and they are somewhat unknown. Okay, somewhat unknown for us. Okay, and mainly it's because of the limited what we know, the limited knowledge of what we have as Dorticos as a professional, because he has just been blowing out opponents, right? And these are 3 important questions. How will Dorticos fare on the back foot? I mean, can he fight on the back foot? I would suggest that he probably can, but because he's been blown away with these opponents, we just have not really seen it of any notes, okay? The other thing is, can Dorticos last, okay? He's only gone the distance once, and it was against someone who wasn't going to hurt him, and he just couldn't blow him out. He couldn't take him out for one reason or another, and there could be any type of reason and excuse why the performance wasn't up to standard, but either way, he's only gone the distance once against a lower level opposition, okay? And the third question is, can Dorticos back up Gassiev, okay? And this could be the key, and this could be the deciding element of the whole fight. We've seen Gassiev really back up pretty much everyone he's fought. He's taken punches to land his own, and he's hurt his opponents, really worn them down, and 9 times out of 10 been able to land that stoppage, okay? But can Gassiev stop this? Can he neutralize this? Can he back up Gassiev? Gassiev, has been able to close down his opponents so far to date relatively easy, limit what they can do. But here we're talking about a big kind of athletic guy who can go in for the kill himself, throws phenomenal combinations with some serious power. That for me is going to be the question. Can Dorticos back up Gassiev, and how will Gassiev himself, take to being on the back foot? I mean, that's what I say is the key. But I think it may be controversial, but I'm actually going to pick Dorticos to win, and I'm picking a Dorticos stoppage inside 5 rounds. Inside 5 rounds, I believe Dorticos will get that stoppage, and he'll move forward to the final against Usyk. Usyk has just been so phenomenal in his pro career to date. You really can't. It's difficult to choose anyone but Usyk. But we have to think about that. We have to think about that when it's closer to the time. And then there will be the question of Tony Bellew. He has announced this week that he wants to fight the winner of this tournament if he beats David Haye. But what I would say is, I think we will see Tony Bellew fight the winner of this tournament, whether he wins or loses against David Haye, because he has that WBC Emeritus Championship, and he can challenge the current WBC champion anytime he wants as a mandatory. And if you have that, you're going to take advantage of it. Tony Bellew doesn't have much left in his career. He's obviously got this massive payday against David Haye. He was probably looking to fight one of the heavyweight champions, but as he alluded to in his interview this week, these championships are going to be tied up in big unification battles over the next 12 months, and that really rules him out. Because I believe that Tony Bellew will be looking to retire in 2018, and as long as he doesn't suffer, an injury against Hay, I believe, win or lose, he will challenge the champion. So that will be another interesting fight and something that we can talk about later in the year. But I just want to say this World Boxing Super Series, I think, has been brilliant. The concept of it has been great. It's been great to get, fresh young fighters and to rejuvenate this cruiserweight division, which I've never been a huge fan of, because I've always felt that it's been a bit of a graveyard for smaller heavyweights or people that would have competed at cruiserweight, try their arm at heavyweight and blow up for heavyweight. So we don't see the best at this level. But, it's brought together some great fights, some really, truly great fights. We've got to this semi-final stage with, 4 undefeated guys, all champions, unifying, and we're going to have a unified champion. Hopefully, we're going to get a 4-belt champion in the final. It's been great, and I love the whole production of the World Boxing Super Series. The lighting around the ring, I think, is a really cool, unique idea. I think it really does look good. I don't know how that is, on fight night, if you're live, if you're close to those lights, whether that is a bit distracting. But, when you're watching it on screen, it looks pretty damn cool. So anyway, that's been Gassiev versus Dorticos. That's the semi-final of the Cruiserweight World Boxing Super Series. Let me know who you're predicting in the comment section below. I really want to hear from you. Are you predicting Gassiev? Are you predicting Dorticos? And I'll see you in the next boxing prediction.